Good afternoon all. So today's topic is process scheduling. Before explaining different types of process schedulings, let us see various types of process. Various types of process are arrival time, waiting time, response time, burst time, completion time and turnaround time. So arrival time is the point of time at which the process enters the ready queue. Waiting time is the amount of time spent by the process waiting in the ready queue for getting the CPU. So to calculate waiting time, the equation is turnaround time minus burst time. And the next one is response time. Response time is the amount of time after which process get the CPU for the first time after entering the ready queue. So to calculate response time, time at which the process first get the CPU minus arrival time. Burst time. Burst time is the amount of time required by the process for executing on CPU. It is also called as execution time or running time. And the next one is the completion time. Completion time is the point of time at which the process completes its execution on the CPU and take exit from the system. It is also called as exit time. And the last one is a turnaround time. Turnaround time is the total amount of time spent by a process in the system. When present in the system, process is either waiting in the ready queue for getting the CPU or it is executing on the CPU. So turnaround time is the burst time plus waiting time, and or you can calculate turnaround time by is equal to completion time minus arrival time. So before going to different types of scheduling, let me explain preemptive and non-preemptive schedulings. See these two diagrams, it is process state diagrams, right? So see what is the difference between these two diagrams. Here running to ready state is possible, right? Running to ready state is possible here, running to ready state, but here running to ready state is not possible. That indicate this is once this program is running, once one program is running, and it is not possible to go back to ready state other than waiting for the IO system. But here one process running, for if you are getting another process with a higher priority, that process has to go back to the ready state. Or if one process running and its allotted time is got over, that case also it has to go back to the ready state. So this is known as preemptive. And here one process running, only one case it can go back to the ready case, that is the waiting for the IO. No other cases it cannot, it can go back to the ready state. Suppose one process running, P1 process running, other process has come P2. It has higher priority than P1, but P2 has to wait until P1 completes the execution. That is known as non-preemptive scheduling. Here we are taking the processor from the process, like forcefully we are taking the processor from the process in preemptive scheduling. Like P1 is executing, but other process has come with a higher priority. So we are taking processor from the process forcefully. That is preemptive scheduling. But here that is not possible. That is non-preemptive scheduling. So first scheduling algorithm is FCFS scheduling. In FCFS scheduling, the process which arrives first in the radio queue is firstly assigned the CPU. In case of type, process with a smaller process ID is executed first, and FCFS is always non-preemptive. Non-preemptive means once it is assigned, it has to complete the execution until and unless there is no wait, IO wait. And here example is there are 5 process and the process arrival times are given, burst time also given. You have to draw the Gantt chart and calculate the average turnaround time. So to draw the Gantt chart, first come first serve, right? So tell me which process came first. Arrival time P3 has come first, right? And P3's burst time is 2. So at time 0, P3 has come and it needs only 2 milliseconds to complete. So at time 2, P3 complete. Then what time other process came? The next process P1 has come at 3. But P3 completed at time 2. So see here 2 to 3 is CPU's idle. P3 completed at time 2 and there is no process at time 2. P1 reaches at time 3. So 2 to 3 is the idle time and P1 will be starting at time 3. And time 3 P1 will be starting, it needs 4 millisecond. So 3 to 4 millisecond is time 7 P1 complete. So at time 7 P1 complete means other process, see P2 and P4 came at 5. P5 came at 4. So which will execute first? P5, right? Because it is FCFS scheduling. So P5 will be doing their execution next and it needs 3 millisecond. So P5 will be starting their execution for the next 3 milliseconds. So P5 will be completing their execution at time 10. Now P2 and P4 is there. Both came at time 5. In that case, you have to go for the smaller process ID first. So P2 will be P2 and P4. P2 is the smaller processor ID. So P2 will be executing first. And P2 required 3 milliseconds. So P2 required 3 millisecond. At time 10 it will start. It required 3 millisecond. So till 13 P2 will be executing. Next P4 will start their execution. P4 required only 1 millisecond. So 13 to 14 P4 will be executed. Now no other process to execute. So this is the Gantt chart. Next is calculate the turnaround time and waiting time. So P1, how to calculate the turnaround time? P1 exit time is 7, right? P1 exit time is 7. At what time it came? It came at 3. So 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 is the turnaround time. P2 exit time is 13. And what time P2 has come? P2 has come at 5. So 30 minus 5 is 8 is the turnaround time. P3 exit time is 2. P3 reaches at arrival time of P3 is 2. So 2 minus 0, 2 is the turnaround time. P4 exit time is 14. P4 exit time is 14. It came at 5. So 40 minus 5, 9 is the turnaround time. P5 exit time is 10 and it came at time 4. So 10 minus 4, 6 is the turnaround time. So in that and next you have to calculate the waiting time. P1 arrive at 4. P1 arrive at arrival time of P1 is 3 and the same time it got the processor, right? So it's 3 minus 3, not 4 minus 4. 3 minus 3 is, or you can use the equation to calculate waiting time, turnaround time minus burst time. Turnaround time is, here turnaround time of P1 is 4. Burst time is 4, turnaround time is 4. So 4 minus 4 is 0. And P2 turnaround time is 8, burst time is 3. Burst time of P2 is 3. So 8 minus 3 is 5. P3 turnaround time is 2 and burst time is 2. So 0. P4 turnaround time is 9 and burst time is 1. So 9 minus 1 is 8. P5 turnaround time is 6. Burst time is 3. So 6 minus 3 is 3. So this is the waiting time. Average turnaround time is 4 plus 8 plus 2 plus 9 plus 6 divided by 5 is 5.8. Average turnaround time here, average waiting time is 0 plus 5 plus 0 plus 8 plus 3 divided by 5. 16 by 5, 3.2 unit. I hope all of you understood the first come first serve scheduling. So to calculate waiting time, you can go for the equation turnaround time minus burst time.